Hey, before I get started on the topic that I had in mind for today's video, I just wanted to acknowledge the recent mass shooting in a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. That's all I want to do, really, is acknowledge it, because as a cisgender heterosexual white male, my voice is not the important one in these events. I encourage you all to listen to the members of the LGBTQIA community during this this terrible time, and for those closeted individuals especially who are mourning alone and in silence right now because circumstances have forced them to remain hidden, I'm sorry for what you're going through. I know you're not okay right now, but I hope you will be soon. Okay. Warm greetings, Code Monkeys, and welcome back to CodedLockFilms. This is Jacob Kasnoff, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, better known here on YouTube as William Jakespeare. He recently made a video about how he was going to be taking a step back from YouTube for a while to focus on some other stuff, and that got me thinking about something I've been wanting to talk about for a while but never really got around to. Thanks, Jake. I have felt for a while that, at least here in America, we live in a society that generally fails to value art in a monetary sense. What I mean by that is basically people like free stuff. I think we kind of romanticize the notion of the starving artist in our society. This notion that artists ought to just create art without worrying about money, because adding money into it brings in this whole capitalist element that corrupts the purity of art. This notion is stupid. Look, I would love to live in a world where people don't have to worry about money. I don't like having to worry about money because it's scary and annoying. But unfortunately, people need things like food and water and clothing and places to live, and those things cost money. I think this notion that artists shouldn't be paid for what they create is based in this bizarre concept that creating art and entertainment isn't real work somehow. Like it's some magical gift that people just drop out of the womb destined to possess, instead of a real skill that people spend years practicing and honing to be able to do what they do. But because it's seen as something that ought to be done for the love of it, a lot of people don't have any problems with not paying for it. People pirate movies and music without paying for them. They use ad blocking software so that they don't have to sit through a 20-second commercial in order to gain access to 15 minutes of otherwise completely free entertainment. And honestly, truly, I get it. Ads are kind of icky, and the music and film industries are rife with a lot of problems. And I understand why people aren't eager to support those business models. But I see these same ideas that we have about the music industry and Hollywood being carried down to the lower levels. I've seen pottery maestros being told that $20 is way too expensive for a beautiful handmade clay mug. I see small-time musicians struggling to pay the bills because people won't pay more than a couple bucks to see a so-called indie performance in an underground venue. I see people scoffing when asked to pay $40 for a crocheted scarf that took 8 hours to make. I see an illustrator's beautiful work being passed around Tumblr and lavished with praise, and then see that same artist being completely ignored the moment they mention they're taking commissions. So how does what I'm saying relate to this guy? Well, as Jake said in the video I'm currently referencing, link to the original video in the description, he spent about 4 months putting full-time hours into his YouTube work in the hopes that he could make a living off of it through his Patreon, and then that didn't really work out. Which really sucks, because this guy is super talented and extremely entertaining and deserves success. And it seems ludicrous to me that a guy with over 69,000 subscribers can't manage to make more than $40 a video. I guess what I'm saying is that I would really like to see more people take an active role in valuing art. And more importantly, valuing the hard work and the skills that go into making art. And believe me, I understand that there are a lot of people who would like to support artists but are unable to because of their financial situation. But if you are a person who can afford maybe just a bit, give it some thought. Pick maybe 3 to 5 people whose creative work you really enjoy and try to support them a little bit. Maybe buy a piece of their work, like a t-shirt or something off an Etsy store or an art fair shelf. If you stop to listen to a street performer, throw $1 or $2 into their hat before you walk away. Maybe contribute to a Patreon. And hopefully there will be more people who can afford to spend their time making the world a more entertaining place to live. Jake, good luck. And hail Hydra. Until next time, Code Monkeys, I will see you later.